Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. Well, in today's Lost Ark video, we're gonna talk about the most recent discussed theme of all the time. It is the question, is this game pay to win or not? Well, first of all, I'm gonna tell you my opinion on this. For me, it is not pay to win. Originally, pay to win means you can buy something in the item shop that no one else can achieve in-game. You can equip it, as an example, a weapon. It is stronger than everything else. You pay for it and you win against everyone. That was the normal idea of saying something is pay to win. Well, since we have now a lot more players, people see it different, we have a lot more games, and well, this was the old term of being pay to win or not. So that means everyone has a different opinion on this. And I'm not coming with a video now and I tell you this is pay to win or this is not pay to win, as well, I saw some other YouTube videos where people that never played the game just say something without giving you any facts or whatever about the game. And well, people started believing this. And everyone from us, Lost Ark streamers, mentioned that as well, because it is the most common question that we get in the streams. I explain this 1 million times a day, other streamers are doing that too, and that's why I decided to make this video. So again, we're gonna start with facts, and well, you have to build your own opinion on this, right? I just gonna tell you how it is. Also what we know so far for our release, how it is in Korea, Japan and Russia. They also said they want to change a little bit the item shop. We have no clue about the item shop. Well, if the item shop would be in the alpha, I would not even be allowed to talk about it. But to be honest with you, we all don't know how the item shop is going to look like, even if you play the alpha. So with that being said, right, no one really can tell you how our item shop is going to be. But we can talk about the in-game mechanics and how this pay to win affects Russia, Korea and Japan. So let's start with one fact, and that's also why I say it is pay to progress. First of all, you can buy in-game gold basically from other players. And I'm gonna show you real quick how this works. As you see, we are here on my character, we are in the game. If we press F4, not Alt F4, just F4, we can open the item shop. As you can see here, we can buy blue crystals for royal crystals. Well, they have other names here because we are playing in Russia. Again, I'm not allowed to show you the alpha, but in the alpha they say. Anyways, maybe no item shop. And well, I have some blue crystals. I never spent money into this game, so there are ways how you can get these blue crystals as well, but not really a lot. So if you spend money, you get these royal crystals, and then you can exchange them for blue crystals. What these blue crystals are, it's another currency to also buy stuff from the item shop. As you can see right here, we can buy like some materials and stuff like that. And well, if we go to this dude over here, they are staying in every capital city. So in all the main cities, they got called currency exchange. They have like their own icon on the map, so that's how you can find them. You can go to this guy. Well, first of all, you can buy crystals and you can sell crystals. That means if you play the game, you can basically buy those crystals from other players that did RMT, right? Not really RMT, real money trading, but like RMT in-game, so pay to win, right? So, but now the real question is, you can buy gold. What can you actually do with this gold? Well, to be honest, you can upgrade your gear faster. If you have gold, you can buy materials and you can upgrade your gear faster. So it is definitely pay to progress. Doesn't really matter what someone is saying. That's how it is. But the thing is that the most people that don't know this game are not telling you is that it is not so worthful to have a lot of gold or to be a bit faster with your gear. Well, they don't tell you because they don't really know this game. The thing is, in the end game, you're gonna face often dungeons and stuff like that, where your gear is equivalent. We just gonna ride over there now real quick. I just dismounted, I don't know why. We just go over there and also show you like one of those scenarios, because, well, you don't really need to understand a lot about the game. There are like raids on guardians, and the guardian is basically one single boss monster, and, well, you have to kill him. You can do that solo or in a group. Mostly you do it in a group. And there are normal versions where your gear matters, and heroic versions where they are harder and your gear is equivalent. So that means doesn't matter what gear you have to do the hardest version of it. Is this the heroic thing? Yup. Well, to do the hardest versions of them, your gear is equivalent. It also says it's somewhere over here. I just don't know where actually. Think in conditions? No. Where does it say that? Okay, sorry. I needed to cut real quick something out because I was searching too long for this. I forgot actually where it stands. It stands over here. If you hover over Harmony, it tells you player equipment levels will be balanced. So that basically means that doesn't matter how much gear score you have, even if you have like the highest gear score in the game, you're gonna have the same stats than someone else as well. So what are these heroic guardians there for? If you're gonna check this again, we see we can also drop like accessories like rings, earrings, amulets, cards, ability stones, and also engraving books for your class, right? So this is an additional source of farming that stuff. And yeah, and also materials, right? So you're gonna farm more of this over here. So that means if a pay to win player that always swipes his credit card is, well, maybe overgeared for the normal guardians, yes, he can get materials, but you can kill them as well. But if you are better than him, you can also do the heroic guardian, so you get even more materials through playing the game. While there's still the thing that you can always buy those stuff in the auction house as well, right? So they can equip faster and they will be faster in the game than you. But then how we get the content is like this. We play a game that is basically older, right? So that means we're gonna start out and we're gonna do some content. And normally, since of all the other releases was like this as well, we was pushing to the end game content, right? So if you play like some hours a day, you easily get there in time. If not even, yeah, like you are going to be too fast there. And well, then you can do like meaningless side stuff, or you play alts and you prepare for the next content. You still gonna do stuff, but to prepare for the next content basically. Also, the start of the content that we get is not so hard. That means, well, the card swipers are probably going to be there like 2 or 3 days earlier than you, but you will also catch up and you wait with them together on the next content. Also, when the next content gets released, you need to have your gear basically plus 15. If that are the levels that your gear get. So a guy that is like swiping his credit card all the time, he can maybe has his gear plus 20, Well, so he is going to be better at the state of this content. But as soon the next content gets released, you get new gear. And that means pretty much all the gear you had from before is crap again. So it doesn't really brings you anything that you like. It is just going to be worthless. So that means they spend a lot of real money for basically nothing at the end, just to be like maybe 2 or 3 days earlier there in the end game. And then also a thing, the most bosses have like one-shot mechanics. So if someone is messing them up, the boss is killing you. Doesn't matter if you have plus 20 gear or plus 15 gear. Well, there's one thing that comes to the place. Of course, if you have higher gear, you can kill the boss a little bit faster. So you have a less amount of chance that you fail the boss. But still, they're gonna have their one-shot mechanics. So if you are a PPGer, you can just not kill them. And then also in Korea, as an example, the hardest boss that there is, it's also with gear equivalent. So that means the gear is balanced, everyone has the same stats. You can pay 1 million euros or whatever, or dollars, but you will not be better than anyone else in the game. And well, Korea has 1 out of 6 bosses at the moment. He is tend to be the easiest boss, so the next bosses will be a lot harder. Well, we're not gonna show you now a fight, we're probably gonna make a video about him. It's Voltan hard mode, so you can also search on YouTube for this if someone wants to check it out right now. And it is a really, really hard boss. There's a lot of stuff going on, so it doesn't matter how much you pay in the game, you cannot do it. So that means, after all, for PvE, it is actually meaningless to do pay to win, right? Because most of the endgame content is also gear equivalent. There is stuff that is not, and there you have a little bit faster progression, but at the end you still need to be a good player. And then there's PvP, and PvP is basically over arenas. We just go over there real quick to show you that as well. And that means it is instant content. There is no open world PvP in the game. Well, they want to plan to do an area where there is open world PvP, but we don't have that yet. Korea doesn't even have that yet. And we don't really know how they're gonna do it. At least I don't really know. Maybe they put it out a lot of informations, but then it's in Korea, and since they get it first, I didn't really care about that content yet. Because if we get the same area, this is going to be like 1 year later or even more. And here we are in the arena entry, or basically for the PvP fights. As you can see here, you have the fighter's diary. This is an extra skill tree, and you can place your stats also again. So that means you're gonna have in PvP also the stats that you chose here, so you can skill your stats and you can skill other skill trees. You always have the same amount of skill points, which is 340 for us right now. I don't know if it's getting later or more, if we get more content, or if we have less content. I don't really know about that. But this system is going to be there. So that means you're gonna have a fixed amount of skill points and a fixed amount of stat points. So that means, again, in PvP, your gear is also meaningless because it doesn't really matter. You can have the best gear. You're still gonna have in the PvP fights the same stats as everyone else, and well, the same amount of skill points. So that means it's only your player skill. So for PvP, pay to win also doesn't matter because you can level a character from 1 to 50 and do PvP, and you can kill someone that plays this game for 3 years. It doesn't really matter. The only place in the game where I also have to say it is pay to win in my eyes as well, because we still have that pay to progress system. So if you spend money, you can progress your stuff faster, is guild versus guild. This is really the only content where you can say this is pay to win. Well, the most of the players don't even like really care about it, because even if you do guild versus guild, you're probably not gonna do PvP against the top ranking guilds. And that is something you can achieve if you have everyone in your guild spending a lot of money, because then they can create bigger weapons, so they're just gonna kill you faster. And well, if they are also at the same skill level than you, you don't really gonna have a chance. This is well, the only state of the game where it is really pay to win. Other than this, for PvE and for PvP, at the end, it doesn't really matter, since the hardest content is always gear equivalent. And that are the facts about this game. So if you really care about guild versus guild, then, well, you're basically gonna say it's pay to win. If you care about the other stuff, that are the facts. You will always have enough time to go to the end game and stuff like that, so you don't have to worry about a free-to-play player. Also, there are ways to get also a good amount of gold as a free-to-play player. So basically, if you play a little more and like every day, you can have alts, and basically, sorry, my phone was just ringing. And basically, with alts, you can generate more gold, since there is daily and weekly capped raids and void dungeons and stuff like that, so PvE group content that you can do, and there you get gold per character. So that means if you do the void dungeon, which is a weekly cooldown, you do it with character R, you get gold, the rewards, and you cannot enter this anymore per week for this week, right? But you can enter it with character B as well. So that means the more characters you have yourself, the more gold you can also get, because you always get a raw amount of gold and, well, materials and stuff like that. But the most important part here is the gold. So if you are like freaking out and you really like to do alts, that is also really good for you, because then you can, well, you don't really care about pay to win anymore, since you can cover up enough gold if you want to do that like weekly with some characters. So as an example, I'm gonna level a lot of alts, and I'm gonna take one day, and they are just gonna do like real quick the void dungeons and the raids with my characters, and I'm never gonna have a problem with gold. And my plan is actually to be always one of the fastest guys in the end game content, because while I'm streaming it, I want to show it to people, and well, that is my reason for this, right? So even like the most pay to win players doesn't really have a chance then against me. Well, if someone decides to spend like 1 million euros, well, okay, he can be faster than me. But other than this, we're gonna be also really fast there as a free-to-play player. I also gonna make guides about how to make gold with alts and stuff like that. But this is for later. At the moment, I'm preparing a Google Doc sheet. So as soon as this is done, I'm gonna upload a video here as well. So make sure to also subscribe to the channel if you care about that, to get notified when I'm uploading it. And yeah, other than this, I hope now you have like a better way to build your opinion than just listening to anyone that just comes out with a video and says it's pay to win, but they don't explain you why they think it is pay to win. This is the stuff that is in the game. So build your own opinion. Again, for me, it is like somewhat pay to progress. Yes, it doesn't really matter to me at the end, and I don't really see it as pay to win. Well, other than guild versus guild, but then for myself, I don't really care about this content too much. So for me, it's fine. If you just play the game for guild versus guild, well, then yes, but you're just gonna do guild versus guild really rarely per week. It's not something that you do every day. So decide that for yourself. But yeah, that's it with the video. Thanks for watching, and hopefully see you again. Bye bye.